Based
I think as a leader
based
of
on
men,
both of
Erwin's
their
clear.
story, based on both of their stories, has any one of them shown like great leadership?
I think Erwin has. I think
Erwin has, but here's the main.
I think Griffith has too.
Like he's led.
Especially.
No, it's gonna happen.
Who's a better leader between Griffith?
Hey man,
Erwin.
Ty, read it out loud. Come on, they're trying to
Erwin.
hear the
Who's the better leader?
Griffith before Guts left, or Erwin from Attack on Titan? I think it's easily. I think it's like a better. Okay, what we deeming like leadership, right?
Are we also putting in like
better?
strategy?
What do you mean by better?
And things
So like who accomplished more?
Hey, Dan.
Because it depends, right?
Yeah, because I would say
shout out Dan Young.
I think that Griffith had. I think Erwin had a hard degree of difficulty because he's going to such an unfamiliar world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for him to accomplish things. Like he's trying to like this nigga don't know if I turn this corner, am I gonna see a monster? Like I think like Griffith when he's like when he's he's going against his enemies, he knows like he basically tricked his opponent into like lowering his defense. Like he had an easier time pretty much. So I think I'll probably give it to degree of difficulty to Erwin, but who's a better leader though? I mean,
how much do you really see Erwin like interact diplomatically?
What you mean?
What do you mean?
Like so, we were watching Griffith basically snake his way into being the he's not going to be the official heir, but it was going to be the heir of the kingdom.
Leadership though. That's just
But I'm not.
I mean,
I think as a leader
based
of
on
men,
both
Erwin's
of their
clear.
based on both of their stories, has any one of them shown like great leadership?
I think Erwin has.
Erwin has, but here's the main.
I think Griffith has too.
Like he's
especially both of them in battle.
He's let them in
battle are great.
No, he's let them to win wars, and he's also been able to galvanize so many people. Like people are willing to. Like, is he evil? Yes, but is he a good leader? Yes.
They're both good leaders. The biggest difference for me would be that Erwin's like Griffin is fighting at that time before Guts leaves. He's fighting other humans. So it's like somewhat still of an even playing field to a degree. Erwin is leading men to fight titans, monsters that are way more destructive than his forces. So he's always at a disadvantage and always trying to figure out a way to still succeed while being handicapped. So I feel like Erwin technically from a strategic standpoint might be better. And then as a leader of men, like basically trying to convince people on a daily basis, hey, we're winning, we're fighting a losing battle constantly, but we still need to keep going. I feel like I feel like that gives Erwin the lead.
Here's the biggest thing I give Erwin, and I'll let get to around. Here's the big thing I give Erwin. Erwin is such a good leader that what he instilled into his comrades, when he's gone, they still push forward. When Griffith left, they fell apart. I think a part of leadership is that if I can build up my team so well that even if I'm gone, they can still function properly because of what I instilled into them. When Griffith left, they literally almost collapsed. Now you can argue because Guts left too. Like they lost the two heavy hitters.
No, that. But, so are we saying that? So if Erwin and like Levi died, would the scout would they be good?
I mean,
from a combat. I mean, if you're saying from a combat perspective, no. But I think from every other aspect, yes.
For how they function, I would say
he instilled a lot of good qualities into them.
No, mind you, I'm not. Ironically, I agree with. I also think both their downfall, so to speak, or technically only one of them had a downfall. The fact that Griffith made the Band of the Hawk so centralized around him was perfect until he couldn't watch Guts walk away from him. Because I think you watched him have his hands obviously in assassinations, this and that, to be able to snake his. It's like watching anybody who's ever watched House of Cards. Yes. Man, you just watching Frank Underwood legitimately just walk up the ladder in a way that seems entirely possible, and Griffith was kind of doing that. But
it wasn't through leadership. Like I don't think the House of Cards reference applies because it wasn't through leadership. It was through cunning. All he did was deceive and use cunning to get ahead.
But I thought having, even if Guts wasn't there, I think if he asked, what's the dude who ended up loving Casca, but he bowed out because Casca. I always forget his name. Juno. Or even Casca. Juno. I think it shows the amount of leadership to have to be able to. What's the right way to say this? Not just cunning, but leadership, to know who the right time to strike, to be able to galvanize, to be able to coordinate the fact that to fake your own death, and yet still. Look, Erwin's the better leader, but let's not sleep on Griffith. That's all I'm saying.
Of course, but Santo, go ahead.
I think in this case you would have to give it to Erwin, because one key aspect of being a good leader is building leaders. Like when Erwin left, Levi was there. When Levi wasn't really up to par, was Hanji was there. Like it always trickled down. When Griffin left, it like Ty said, it just almost imploded.
Armin too. Armin,
yeah,
he's one of people that instill Armin like, yo, you just as smart as me. And I think another part of great leadership is a leader that's willing to do what he asks of other people. He say, I will charge in the battle. Like a good part of leadership is a leader can say, I won't tell y'all to do nothing I wouldn't do myself. And he said, guess what? Y'all charging that battle, but I'm gonna be in the front lines to charge the beast titan with y'all. He convinced people to die. Like, cause think about it, in Berserk, yeah, they're willing to die for Griffith, but like they never presented a scenario where they know that if I go into this, I'm gonna die. I'm still following him. It was more so like we're going to war, we're gonna win, because they were on a winning streak. Erwin knew that this plan, we're going to die regardless. We're gonna get murdered, but we believe in this leader's vision so much, and he's willing to do something that he's telling us to do something he's also going to do himself. We're gonna charge to our deaths, and they did it. I ain't gonna lie, Erwin got it, bro.
And you're right. And the best
hold
way
on, hold on. Let's read this. First, Dan Young, shout out you becoming a YouTube member. You already know how to become a member. Appreciate you, Dan Young. And then he sent a $20 super chat with one of our banners saying, all right, well, you're going to be watching Fate Apocrypha then, Riddell. So I guess I'm watching Fate Apocrypha.
Miles, we're never going to watch that movie.
No, so here's my view on it, Miles. The first half,
I'd rather watch this than Heaven's Field.
Apocrypha mid.
No, so the first half, Miles, is ass. The second half,
goated.
First half, I have stuff to look forward to. Okay,
first half is mid, Riddell. You're gonna be like dragging through it, but the last four episodes, some of the best fights you'll see.
Well, I like the
so it's Death Note. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
The reverse Death Note.
Reverse
Death Note. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but the ending, peak.
Death Note just catching a crazy stray.
But just to be clear, the reason why he sent that $20 super chat, we have the banner right here. You can send a super chat based off our super chat goals, and you can suggest an anime for one of us to watch, of course. So I'll watch Fate Apocrypha, and then I'll be back here next week and give my thoughts about it.
Yeah,
but
you should finish it in a few days.
But Ren, were you finished? I think you were about to say something.
So just real quick example. I'm just trying to figure this out. So if Erwin died and Hanj died, is a scout regiment still what it is?
I think so.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Erwin and Hanj?
I mean, because we saw the scouts without Levi for a period of time, and when Erwin died, and Hanji immediately took over and led them. And then we you know what I'm saying? So I feel like
without Hanj, I would say it wouldn't be how it is. Hanj is the final pillar.
Honestly,
if I'm being sustainable, yeah.
I think that Armin would take over.
I was just about to say, you're starting to see the rise of Armin as a leader.
He was ready at that point?
He wouldn't be ready.
It wouldn't be a choice.
Yeah.
But I think
you
would have had to
extend Armin quite a little bit more.
I think it would have been like a committee between Armin and Mikasa.
You know the interesting thing about it is
I don't think Mikasa. I think John.
John too is John as well. You know the interesting
John
about it is
maybe.
John. You know the interesting about it is that when we first met Hanji, we would have never known that she'd been prepared to be a leader until she was. She was like, if I thought Hanji was some crazy lady, and then she became a great leader out of you know what I'm saying, because she been working. Yeah. Like if you'd asked me in season 1 or 2, could Hanji lead the scouts? Most people probably say no, but she was prepared for it.
I agree with you. At the very least, though, Hanji did have like a position of power. Like she had a position of leadership to an extent. She was like one of the officers of the scout regiment. So there is some type of faith in Hanji. But I mean, if you can cooperate Armin and Jean, I'll be there with you, because Armin was in charge of like so much, and Hanji was in charge of like the scout regiment. So But if Gene could do it, I would agree there. Erwin inspired a lot of people, so I agree there. Erwin.
So my second question is: let's just say Griffith gets caught the way he does this, but do you think? Obviously, the period of time between when Guts comes back to the Band of the Hawk and we see Casca just holding them together, do you think both of them could keep the Band of the Hawk functional? Because I think Casca would have immediately gotten them all out of there. Do you think they could have kept the Band of the Hawk functional until they got Griffith out? If Guts never left.
Guts is not really a leader in my opinion. Like he's a leader, but
he's more like followed by example.
He's not a
he's a lead by example, and I think Casca could be the actual leader. Like,
yeah,
she clearly has the Band of the Hawk's trust.
I think they'd be okay. They wouldn't be the same. They'd be okay.
Well, they wouldn't be as
organized,
cunning or that malleable on the field of battle. Like, if you want to know how great of a leader Griffith is, just look at the Battle of Doldry, what he does by putting his forces both psychologically at the edge, by having them fight with their back to the water, and also being able to hold that large force enough, and also obviously knowing that the leader of Doldry was like fiending for some Griffith booty, so that's why he was trying. So, and to use that against him.
I think Griffith is a good leader, but he also is a piece of his leadership is also deception. Like he does, like when he's pretending to show people their love, like he uses a lot of manipulation tactics to get people to follow him, opposed to Erwin, he believes in something and they just buy into his belief, right? Like,
I got what you're saying.
Even though I think Griffith is a great leader, though, but
he's a masterful politician.
He would be a great president. He'd be a great president.
Just don't let Guts leave. And Griffith is running that
president. Yeah, I'm not following Griffith. I
don't think you'll have a choice, bro.
When I'm about great president, I'm saying based on the president we've had in the past, he'll fit right in.
He would.
For a politician, no, I agree.
That's what I'm not saying he'd actually be like better for our world, but like he'd be a great president, as in he would fit right in with these other.
Charismatic too, man. He would have been having people.